cũng là kiểu cử nhất là số mong nó nói lúc sáng hình đuวันที่1เก่าแต่ชิโนกุนดูDiana Longrieเนี่ยไปตัวเนี่ยเช็คกันอยู่ทำมงชิดเซงว่าหนอชื่อหมดจุด U.S. Congress nhất là luôn trong sinh Paul Minnesota hồ nó nếu nó kể của Hà Nội tăng của thì đã các lời mình cả cho mẹ kể chẳng biết mà là một thái cho mẹ nông nữa. Hi Diana, thank you for being with us today.
My pleasure.
One of the things that would be of interest to our audience would be why should Hmong people vote for you?
Thank you for that question. First of all, I think that many of the issues that face all of our communities are community issues that face all of us. And while it's important to work for the global good of all the communities, it's also important to know what are the specific issues of each individual community as well, because when every community does well, we all do well. And particularly for the Hmong community, I know and support that all of the veterans who fought in the Vietnam War, that they should have the veteran benefits the same as anybody else who fought in the Vietnam War. They put their lives on the line. They had to leave their homeland because of the horrible death that they could have faced if they would have stayed in their country. And their sacrifice for our men and women that fought in the Vietnam War is tremendous. And so they deserve the same benefits as our own veterans. Also, I think it's very important that for the Hmong community, as for all communities, the importance of recognizing our ancestors. And so particularly for the Hmong community, that we have the proper relations that we need with other foreign countries, so that way we can honor the grave sites of the Hmong people in other countries, so that way their ancestors can be at peace, and that we can all be at peace, because that is an important issue. And lastly, for our young people, it is so important that we have good education, and that there's good education opportunities, particularly for those students who want to go on to college. It is so important to have affordable college, or to have programs so that they can have part of their tuition paid for. And the reason I say this is that you have young students today going to college. That's their opportunity. They go to college and they end up with huge debt. And with that huge debt, there is no chance, no hope for them to be able to dream of buying a house, to raise their family, to have that American dream, because they've got such a large debt load.
Okay, good. Now, what are some of the crises that you see within the district that you're serving right now, within the Hmong community? What are some of the issues that you see?
Well, certainly the issue with the housing foreclosure crisis, that is a tremendous crisis that I believe has hit the Hmong community very hard. I see many of the Hmong families where they bought a home, and then one of the family members, they lost their job, and then they can't keep up the payments, and they've lost their home. And that, again, that has a lasting impact for them, because it affects their credit. And I think that we need to also work nationally on a way that credit is, that if somebody's had a foreclosure that is not a fault of their own, that should not impact their credit, so that in the future, once they get reemployed again, that they should be able to buy and purchase a home again.
I think one of the concerns, if I may speak on behalf of a lot of the Hmong community here, is that outreach. How do you plan to, if you were to be elected, how do you plan to reach out to the Hmong community, and how do you plan to be available to their needs?
I love that question. Outreach, citizen outreach, is one of the issues that is near and dear to my heart. Because quite frankly, I like people. I want to outreach with them. I don't want to hide in my office and you never see me, that you don't know what I look like. I want you to know what I look like, how to get a hold of me. And you can feel like you can call me up and say, Diana, we have a bone to pick with you, and I want to listen to it. Talking about outreach, I think it is so important that what you're doing here is that you're interviewing me. I think it would be important to have town hall meetings that are more diverse, that they are more often, and that they last longer. And so it's an opportunity for people of the Hmong community. They can say, you know what, there's a town hall that's being held in our neck of the woods, so that they feel comfortable coming there. They can say, well, you know what, it's being in our neighborhood. We are personally invited. I would have a personal invitation to all of the Hmong people to come and to share their concerns with me and their solutions.
Great. Any more message you want to send out before we say goodbye here?
Well, I guess certainly my most important message is that I am in a DFL primary August 14th. And it is very important that I make it through that DFL primary on August 14th. Because once I win that primary, then I will be on the ballot in November. If you think that I sound like the right candidate, but you don't vote in August, and I don't make it through, you will not be able to vote for me in November. So that's why it is so important to exercise that right of vote in the August 14th election. And, you know, quite frankly, we all have worked very hard, and the Hmong people have really sacrificed a lot for the right to vote. And so if more than anything, that is a right you should exercise.
Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank
cho nên chỉ cứ tin chăng mẹ tao nói Diana Longrie hạt sự hạt tài về lấy chăng nơi sau lều sáng lù một lão ấy tao nói chữ nhớ trộn luôn trong sinh phò Minnesota của nó nơi tao hạt sự ở bên kho hạt ta nơi cho sinh chụp bây giờ mong rất lời rồi nơi bây giờ veteran benefit hạt sự đã bên mong cho thà hạt này thầu uếตัวนะฮะนึกกูหาจัวไปอย่างคือเจ๋งๆกันเก่าเลยฮะที่หาตาไม่เล่นที่สังหาตาเนื้อจีนย่อยลงมือใช้เจจะเป็นนนจุนจองรู้ยีเล่นตัวมันเทกับเราเมื่อจุดไม่ใจปอนเต่าจุ่มปอนเต่าจนเนื้อละเต่าแกว่าจ้องเต่าน่ะกูอยากเกี่ยวกึเนี่ยตัวชมมอง